What's up, y'all, and thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I am Surge T, and this is my second video I'm doing tonight. I did the uh, my Raw video, my rundown of thoughts earlier. Wasn't sure if I was gonna watch it. I watched like the first half hour, and I was getting really tired. Not physical wise, but really starting to. It was really coming off looking really bad. So I just turned it off, watched some other stuff. And then I decided I continued it today, watched the rest of it, put my video up. So those of you who after you watch this video, go on and check out my Raw rundown and thoughts, and hopefully you'll like that. But let's go on to this video. It's for a much better show. I always enjoy NXT, and this NXT is the August 31st, 2021 edition. These are my rundown and thoughts. So let's get into it. Mandy Rose is met with silence as she enters the CWC, and she is accompanied by Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Her opponent is Saray, and at least you can hear some applause and crowd noise, And then we hear "Let's Go Mandy" and then "Let's Go Saray" chants, and it's only because these CWC attendees are sheep. They will chant anything. You're supposed to chant for the baby faces, not for the heels. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Okay? And then Mandy Rose, she gets herself counted out. And after eating a stiff drop kick, that's when, Saray's opponent is, head is up against the second rope. And then off the rope bounces Saray. She comes over and hits that thing. And sometimes I swear, some of these opponents that she has, sometimes I swear, if it wasn't attached to a number of things, if your head could just easily get knocked off, she could have easily have done that. And she takes the easy way out, and Saray picks up the victory. She lost her last match, which was her first match. She's lost. They're trying to build something behind her, and at least that this is a way to do it. But Mandy Rose, I guess it's actually a good way for her to lose, because then it doesn't make her look bad, because she lost by countout. She didn't get pinned. She didn't get submitted. I guess they're probably going to be behind her and try to build her, but this is a kind of a way to build up a good heel. Maybe, I guess. But she's already surrounded herself with some backup. That's a good thing to do, because when you're in a match, hey, if it looks like you're about to lose, they'll jump right on it. Her backup, and actually they did do a little number on Saray later on. They beat her up in the locker room. Did JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. So they're paying dividends, and they're trying to, I guess, kiss up to their new manager, their new mentor, I guess you could say. Now Tommaso Ciampa is backstage sitting on that chair. The chair over, there's another chair over here, but that's of course Toothless Timmy's seat, and he has been injured indefinitely. He's out indefinitely, as they kept telling us in this broadcast. Sad to hear, and hopefully indefinitely isn't too long. And he says he's looking to fight for Toothless Timmy, and Rich Holland better be ready, because a motivated Ciampa is a deadly one. We know that. This guy was out for a long time. His last one little bad injury that he had. And when he came back, he bided his time, and he made sure that it was the right time to strike and go after gold and go after opponents and go after people. And he's going to have that match with Rich Holland later. Now, Duke, Hudson, and Kyle O'Reilly look to continue their backstage scuffle from last week. And they look to do it inside the ring, and O'Reilly, in the end, taps out Hudson. Now, I like Hudson. The dude's tough. He's got great charisma. And he really took it to O'Reilly. And, there is an upside to him. And this shouldn't derail him too bad. I don't think it will, You got to, just kind of, put him out there. See how the CWC and even the universe of NXT, gravitates towards him. I think he's going to be a great heel, Maybe he's a guy that needs to put some people around him. And it'll make him look stronger. Adam Cole did that with the Undisputed Era, and you see Roderick Strong with Diamond Mine. They're doing that to kind of make them look stronger, and stuff like that. And speaking of Adam Cole, is he still in the WWE? Haven't read recent news, but I've been hearing a lot of rumors, so we'll see. Now, the next, the new NXT UK champion, Ilya Dragunov. He looks battered and bruised. Even after some time, after TakeOver 36, he's limping and all that. I mean, on one leg, when you have a real bad limp or bad leg, you're kind of like your leg is kind of bent, and he's kind of walking gingerly on that left foot. And he talks about being still alive, and he feels even more alive than ever before. And this crowd is really behind him 100%, telling him they don't want him to go. He's saying he's going to go back to the UK. And, he's the NXT UK champion after all, so he's got to go over there and represent them. And he talks about who is willing to go through all he went through. He went through hell. He went through a lot to finally become the NXT UK champion. And who is going to be willing to go through all that Ilya Dragunov went through and take his United Kingdom title? Again, he says that the ring general has fallen, and he says, long live the Tsar. Okay, Kaylee Ray is interviewed backstage, and she likes to make an impact wherever she goes. She thrives in the biggest moments and chose the biggest moment possible, which was at TakeOver 36, to let the world know that she is here in the States. She talks about the division needing a boost and needs a new top player. The interviewer says, what about, the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez? She says, I don't care about her. She doesn't really care about anybody. She calls out Io Shirai. She calls out Ember Moon. She calls out Dakota Kai, saying that, Dakota Kai, if she were to, if they were ever to meet up, something like that, she would end up with the broken hip, And she really is taking some jabs, taking some stabs at and then all the women there, And she talks about how the reason why that she is there is because William Regal knows what she is capable of. Any of us who watched NXT UK and saw her historic run as the champion, NXT UK Women's Champion, know what she's capable of. She doesn't need to tell me. She doesn't need to tell any of the other fans who really are behind her and think that she's really great. I think she's awesome. She's incredible in that ring. Nobody can compare, It was just like wasn't her night that night when she lost to Meiko Satomura. And now that she's in NXT UK, I think that she is quite possibly could be the one that dethrones La Reina, the UK, the current NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. Now, Carmello Hayes is confronted by Legado. First by what's the lady's name? She made her presence known last week. And Legado didn't show up, the rest of them. And then Santos Escobar tells him that the NXT North American title is his. And he tells him and warns him to stay out of his business. Carmello Hayes goes, did he just threaten me? And then later on, that match is going to be, it's going to happen next week between Escobar and Hayes. And that'll be a great match. Then we see a tag team match with Imperium taking on Drake Maverick and his tag team partner. His name is so forgettable, I forgot what it was. And Imperium Bomb by Imperium for the tag team victory. I like that move. A power bomb that is pretty much what's that word? But you have what's his name? Fabian Eichner has the opponent up in the powerbomb position, and then oh boy, what's his partner? It comes out for the European elbow and knocks him down. I'm tired, so that's the reason why I kind of forgot the name. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Pete Dunne and company are focused on a few things, mainly on Ciampa, who will collide tonight with Ridge Holland. Now, Johnny Gargano versus LA Knight. We see this thing. It was pretty funny. I like the banter and the interaction between with the Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano. Now, it's funny because it's just funny how of course now he's a babyface, Johnny Gargano, and the goofiness and the silliness and the way he's acting it's funny. It's like a father and daughter thing with him in Indy, and then he's only looking out for her. I mean, Dexter Lumis even puts his hand out to do the side thing that Gargano and Austin Theory used to do. But they accompany him to the ring, and then he's distracted a bunch of times by Dexter Lumis. I mean, Dexter Lumis was outside the ring when Johnny Gargano got knocked outside. He catches Lumis catches Gargano. It's just like when he caught Indy, looked just like that, and then Gargano looks and just jumps back and gets off from his grasp and goes, "What are you doing?" And then when he's in the ring, it looks like Gargano is kind of giving in, and then what calls reaching out to do the side hand the side hand thing like this, and then when Gargano's about to do it, what happens? He gets hit by the BMT. Is it BMT? BFT. BMT. Is it a BFT? Bacon, mayonnaise, tomato sandwich? Is that what it is? Or BLT? That's a BLT. But he gets hit by that, and Gargano is pinned by LA Knight. And, looks like if they're going to try to get in his good graces, Dexter Lumis kind of knocked it back a couple of, paces back, so he's going to have to make up for that ground again, kind of costing, Indy's dad his match. Well, it's kind of like that relationship. It's just funny. It's funny. But now, MSK asks for and gets a match against the former champs Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. And they get it next week, and it's for the gold. And even MSK, they acknowledge that, hey, Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan didn't lose their title. They, Burch got injured, and then they won the titles, but they didn't beat them for it. So he's gonna do. They want to do a thing where they want to be able to beat the former champs who never lost their titles, and then it'll all be settled, and that they actually beat the guys who was the champions before them. So that's actually a good thing, good deal, and that's a good way to go about it. And MSK are a couple of honorable guys that really want to do what's best and do the right thing. So it's there's no surprise that they would do that. Now, Boa says, I let her down, talking about Mei Ying. But Mei Ying will show the world the strength of Tian Sha. And Mei Ying will be in competition next week. And I've heard nothing but good things about this person. A lot of lore and a lot of background story behind the character of Mei Ying. And let's see how good this... she should be good because she trained Boa and Xia Li. And I wonder where Xia Li is. They haven't made no mention of her. I'm pretty sure she's injured, but I don't know if they're punishing her because the one real kick that she gave to Mercedes Martinez. There were some rumors saying that she was in trouble because of that, but I don't think she did that out of malice, But we'll see what happens and see how Mei Ying does in the ring. I don't think she's going to be that bad. She's not going to be bad in the ring. She's definitely going to be good. So let's see what happens, Now, Jessica Maya is accompanied by Robert Stone and Frankie Monet. And she gets the NXT Women's Champion in the ring. And good luck to Kamea because she's going to need it. And in the end, luck is not to be had as she gets put down to the mat with a Chingona bomb. And then Frankie Monet comes in and they kind of have a stare-off, her and the champ. Is Frankie Monet going to be the next one? Because Kaylee Ray didn't even really say that she wanted the championship. I think she just wanted to make her presence felt, like you said. So they're probably going to kind of glance over her or maybe go over her. Just kind of put her to the side for now, and she'll focus on like Ember Moon, maybe some rivalries and stuff like that first, and then you're going to have Frankie Monet be the one that challenged first. Frankie Monet is a former women's champion. I think a champion wherever she's been, but I know in Impact she was a champion, women's champion. So, what a better way to to kind of challenge you. She has not faced Frankie Monet and defended her title against her, so this would be a good way for her to continue her momentum if she does beat Frankie Monet. But if Frankie Monet beats her, she could definitely establish herself as the head of the top and the face of the women's division. Now, Ember Moon. Speaking of a woman a lady that was kind of besmirched, as Regal would like to say, kind of talked about badly. And she addresses Kaylee Ray's comments and wants her next week and asked the interviewer, I think it was Mackenzie, to let the GM Regal know. Now, the three-time NXT champion Samoa Joe is interviewed by Wade Barrett, and Joe is setting the precedent in NXT. He talks about great champions like Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. He's a three-time champion now, and he just wants to see who is going to step up to him. Worked really hard. Talked about his traveling schedule and how at times he didn't get much sleep, and then how he wanted to only get home to his family. The last time I heard about Joe, he had a 1-year-old son, but that was some time ago. Maybe his son now is 10 years old. Maybe he has a couple more kids. But yeah, that's the thing about these wrestlers, is that they really want to get home to their family, and at times they're on the road, 280 days, 300 days a year, or something like that. From what I read about their schedules, I think they have something like maybe 6 days on and 1 day off, and then, or something like that. Or even if they had 5 days off, they have 2 days, but then those 2 days are all marketing, promotion, interviews, travel. So these guys really don't get much of a break unless they ask for a vacation, But Joe pretty much was just saying that, if anybody wants to step up to him, anybody wants to challenge him, he's ready, and he's ready. He's ready for it, and it's like, come on and step forward and let him know that you want a shot at his title. Remember last week, a number of people came forward to challenge him, and we'll see who amongst those guys will. If they're going to have a multi-man match to determine the number one contender, they might do that. But let's move on. And Ichiman Jiro takes on Diamond Mine's Roderick Strong. And Jiro is a clown, and I look forward to Strong taking him apart. Now, the Creed brothers, the two gentlemen who are with Diamond Mine, they're out there. We saw them last week training with Roderick Strong. And it is much needed, very much needed, since they're down one man. Tyler Russ is gone. He was let go by WWE. So it's good to have these two guys. Don't know much about them, but they do look intimidating. They're young. They look like they're hungry. They look like they're ready to throw down. And let's see what happens in the the coming weeks. And then in this match, Jiro at one point he had his hand inside his coat, and he was using it to punch Strong. And then Strong was actually taking them like they were stiff shots. I guess that's, the referee should check the pocket. Maybe there's a damn, what do you call it? There's a damn, what do you call those things? Like a bag of coins in there or something like that, a bag of quarters. Like, he could reach in there, he could reach in behind his jacket and then inside his coat and then punch, what do you call it? And it causes Strong to get, rocked back. Like, what's in his coat? But in the end, not one but two backbreakers. I think the second one was definitely to make a point. And then he takes out Ichiman Jiro. He pins him. He pins the overrated Ichiman Jiro. The guy is annoying. The way he talks, the way he's all excitable and all that stuff. I get enough of that annoying stuff like that from the New Day. You see the Japanese version of New Day? Of Kofi Kingston. He's always just jumping around and always like dancing the jig and doing all this stuff. It's like, Now, another backstage incident. There's another backstage segment, and we have Catanzaro and Case Catanzaro and Caden Carter, and find out next week that they're going to take on Zoe Stark and Io Shirai for the tag team championships. The women's division version, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think. I would like to see Catanzaro and Carter be rewarded because they're such a great team. They're very consistent. They've been a team for some time. So let's have them become the next tag team champions, and I'm kind of cringing at the point that maybe they're gonna try to focus them on they're gonna be the next friends that break up thing, where that's how they're gonna lose their tag team titles if they do become champions. I hope they don't go that route. You know, let's have a happy story for once, and then not break up a team just because they're best friends. You know, that thing is kind of like old already. Now, main event, and it's Ridge Holland with his boys in tow, and they look to take out and put Ciampa in a hospital bed next to Thatcher. Now, pound for pound, these guys are two of the toughest in the game. Now, that's what Beth Phoenix said, and the guys in the commentary agreed, and so do I. And at one point, Ciampa was throwing bombs, you know, and Holland was just absorbing them. He was getting knocked down. He was, you know, but then he came back and gave it back to Ciampa. But Ciampa really was, you know, really taking him to task, hitting him with knees, with punches, elbows, everything. Like the whole saying goes, he threw everything but the kitchen sink. And there's one point where Ridge Holland is trying to come in, and he's just kneeing him as he's like draped over the second rope. And then, of course, that's a good setup for what? The Willow's Bell. He hits the Willow's Bell, pins Ridge Holland. And then he ends up being ganged up upon by Ridge Holland's, you know, buddies, Pete Dunne and Birch and Lorcan. And then, of course, I just said this in my mind, this is going to happen. And MSK come out, and they back up Ciampa, and they clear the ring of Holland and his boys. And we all know now that, you know, that MSK is going to be defending their titles against Birch and Lorcan. And maybe next week we'll see Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne. This thing's going to continue, and I don't mind discontinuing because I like the rivalry between these two guys, these two teams, these two sets of people. It's great. It's great to see that. And like I said, I hope Toothless Timmy does come back. But they said indefinitely he's injured, so you know that always means that he's probably be away for a year or so, and then but it could be storyline too, you know. But hopefully he's not injured for real, and that just is just for storyline purposes. And when he comes back, he has a reason to come back because he's gonna go after Ridge Holland and take his ass out. And I hope to see that because would be great. I like Ridge Holland. I think he's a good talent. I think he's a good rising star in NXT. And the guy has the look, the build. You know, he speaks well on the you know, when he talks, he's, you know, he seems to have all the, you know, he seems to have the entire package, complete package, if you will. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's my rundown of thoughts on NXT for August 31st, 2021, and it's 12:32 a.m. right now, and I'm looking at the my clock or the clock on the computer, and it's says 9/1. 2021, so it's already September. So hopefully y'all's August was a good one. And again, those of you who stopped by and check out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.